Hokkaido is the northernmost island of Japan. In the east is Shiranuka. With a population of about 7,000, fishing is the main industry in this coastal area facing the Pacific Ocean. Inland, dairy farming and forestry thrive. A practice for an Ainu dance is being held. Shiranuka is one of the areas the Ainu have called home since ancient times. This is a dance to enjoy with their deities, the kamui, in prayer and life. The Ainu are the indigenous peoples of Hokkaido and surrounding areas. They have their own language and believe that spirits reside in all things and honor them as kamui. They have also developed a unique culture, including prayer and dance. Every September, a festival is held that the Shiranuka Ainu have kept alive, based on a legend in this region about a whale. Hompe Matsuri Festival. Their people preserve the lessons of not wasting the blessings of nature and gratitude toward the deities who provide them. Dances are passed on from parent to child in preparation for the festival, nurturing their pride in the Ainu culture. This program will feature the preparations for the festival, the richness of the Ainu culture, and focus on their spiritual essence. The rich natural environment of Shiranuka was the foundation of life for indigenous Ainu. There are many theories on the origin of the name Shiranuka. One is said to be the Ainu phrase for waves breaking on reefs. Seafood representative of Hokkaido, such as hairy crab, salmon, octopus, and capelins, can be caught offshore. Rivers flow through sprawling, fertile fields and forests inland, where farming and forestry thrive. Popular with tourists is the roadside rest area, Koitoikan, where many Shiranuka specialties can be found in one place. Fresh seafood straight from the port. And rich cheese made from fresh milk are just some of Shiranuka's delicacies. Pasicl Swamp lies where the river mouth was dammed to create a sandy beach. Pasicl means crow in the Ainu language. The shore of the swamp is the setting for Hompe, the legend of a whale. The festival dance, Hompe Rimse, is said to have originated here. It is 1 week before the festival. Everyone from children to the elderly have gathered to practice the dance. This is the whale dance, Hompe Rimse. A crow appears, flapping its wings. This grandmother role is called Fuchi. She cuts into the whale's meat. This dance is based on the Hompe legend, a part of the spiritual world of the Ainu. Great storms continued for days, keeping the villagers from gathering nuts and fish until they were almost starving. When the storm subsided and they ventured to the beach where crows were gathering, a large whale had washed up. The villagers harvested the meat and shared it with the crows and animals who had alerted them to the whale. They gave deep thanks to the kamui. It is said that a dance was improvised on the spot, which became Hompe. This is the scene where meat is shared with the crows. Much of the Ainu culture, including this traditional dance, nearly disappeared. In 1869, the Japanese government renamed Yaomoshiri, or Ainu land, from Ezochi to the current Hokkaido prefecture, and implemented large-scale migration and land development plans. Meanwhile, the Ainu were being forced to assimilate with widespread regulations on their traditional livelihoods and culture, causing great suffering to many. However, they resisted the hardship and prejudice and have preserved their culture up to this day, carrying on the pride of their ancestors. One of those working to preserve ancient dances is Isobe Etsuko.
In the Meiji period, my grandparents had a very difficult time not being able to speak the Ainu language and about the Ainu way of life, which was very hard for them. That feeling of helplessness that my grandparents experienced, that all of our people experienced, is something that we can't let ourselves forget. We want to carry on their wishes, and we have younger people involved now, so we hope that we can keep these activities going for the future generations and not let it disappear.
High school senior Kimura Kanao has been learning the dances since kindergarten.
When you're dancing, you have to become a crow, so you have to think like a crow. The way they didn't let anything go to waste and gave the meat to the crows, I think there was a genuine consideration that the Ainu people had for animals and for people.
Kimura says she loves the world view that the Ainu have preserved. Her friends at school also join in their ceremonies and dances. She was in middle school when she first felt a strong connection to her Ainu heritage. She made this woodblock print in her school art class. It depicts a girl in traditional Ainu clothing. Kimura was particularly drawn to the embroidery. It's now her hope that more people will learn about Ainu culture.
I hope younger generations, like me, can all have the chance to learn about the Ainu. There's still prejudice toward us, but the more that people know about us, I hope that it will gradually fade away.
Kimura's dream is to take the stage in traditional dance performances for visitors. Efforts continue in Shiranuka to pass on Ainu culture and further understanding among non-Ainu ethnic groups. This is an Ainu cooking class taught by Isobe Etsuko. This method is called chitatap, chopping salmon heads, fins, milt, and more into small pieces. Kimura Kanao also participated.
Watch closely, Kanao. This is how it's done. It was your great-grandmother's specialty. Have you had it?
No, I haven't.
Chitatap means to mince thoroughly. It takes more time, so most people do not prepare it like this at home.
It's hard to do, isn't it?
The salmon meat and fins are also minced into dumplings. These traditional dishes contain the teachings of the Ainu to never waste the blessings of nature. This married couple are also preparing for the Hompe Matsuri festival. The dancer is Shindo Satoru. Accompanied by his wife, Manami's singing, he dances the ancient kurimse, or bow dance. Deep in the mountains, a hunter glances up to see a lone, beautiful bird in the sky. The hunter tries to shoot it, but is so moved by the bird's beauty that he cannot loose his arrow. The most difficult part of this dance is expressing the hunter's emotions through movement. Shindo says he will do his best to express them during his performance at the festival. Before daybreak on the ocean, Shindo is making other preparations. It's the first day of the autumn salmon season. Shindo aspired to be a fisherman his entire life. He says the first haul of the year is always a mix of hope and anxiety.
Always hard. Always up. Always up. Always up. Always up. Always hard. Always up. Always up. 나도 해. Always up.
A catch that feels greater than the year before. Shindo calls hauling in the salmon facing the fish.
It puts me at ease to see their faces. I don't know how things will turn out, but I'm glad when I see them.
Once the fishing is over, he returns home.
I'm home.
Welcome back.
The homemade meal washes away the strain of the day's labor. Their sons, Shuya and Koya, are also both dancing key roles at the Hompe Matsuri festival and looking forward to the day. They both take up clothes hangers and start dancing the bow dance, kurimse. They started imitating their father after being inspired by his skilled performance.
It was after they started elementary school, they started dancing it on their own. Just dancing the dances, going to the site and seeing the festival ceremonies. I think just seeing all of this will benefit them when they're older. So all I want is for them to be there.
A forest grove near the riverbed. Wood is being harvested for a tool essential to the festival, Ainu. This is Amanai Shigeki, who will act as the priest of the Hompe Matsuri festival. Before starting, he performs kamui-no-mi. He then begins searching for willow trees.
You can replant willows with cuttings.
Pushing cut willow branches into the ground causes them to take root and grow again. This Ainu knowledge of plants' characteristics allows them to maintain their rich natural environment. The materials for inau have been gathered. After peeling the willow bark, they are dried for 5 days. From a young age, Amanai learned to fulfill the role of festival priest from the Shiranuka elders. Nemoto Yosaburo, known as the last bear hunter of Shiranuka, passed away at the age of 95. He was a respected leader and expert in traditional Ainu hunting. Amanai was interested in hunting and studied under Nemoto. He now works as a deer hunter. Deer are most active during the morning and evening.
There's a cornfield there. If you look here, it's still part of the field, but they've eaten so much it looks like this.
The deer have eaten away at cornfields meant to be used as feed for livestock. Shiranuka is one of the regions with the highest number of deer in Hokkaido. They cause more than 200 million yen of feed and grass damage every year, and hunters work to cull their numbers and use their meat. Venison is one of Shiranuka's local specialties.
This is called ekimonekwa. It's a staff for hiking in the mountains.
Amanai uses this traditional staff as a rifle stand. He culls about 200 deer annually, aiming for those that come out into the grasslands. He's spotted a deer.
No good. Too far.
He misses his chance at this distance.
In the Ainu philosophy, deer were given to us by the kamui as food. So we have to treasure them. In Japan, we say itadakimasu or thank you before we eat. We say it for their life. We are grateful to everything when we give thanks, and we're teaching the children the importance of being grateful for their food.
Respect for food and gratitude toward nature. Lessons taught by the Ainu elders. Two days before the Hompe Matsuri festival, and people are working to make inau. They shave carvings off of the dried willow trees. Inau are offered to the kamui during the ceremony as gifts to please the deities, while passing along the prayers of the people. They work wholeheartedly on the sacred tools. September 4th, the day of the Hompe Matsuri festival. The women gather from early in the morning, making preparations for the festival. Hompe Ohau is one of them, using whale skin and fat to make a traditional Ainu soup.
Sing for us, Manami.
This is the alcohol offering, tonoto.
It's alcohol for the kamui. So we put our hearts into it, wishing for it to be good, for it to taste good as we make it.
The salmon that Shindo Satoru caught is also part of the offerings. The festival begins with the kamui nomi ceremony. The high school student Kimura Kanau and other girls also participate. First, the Shintoko Sanke ritual. This year's batch of tonoto is tasted before offering it to the kamui. Once the tonoto is reported to be good, it is received by festival priest Amanai. It is then given to other participants. Inau are set upright. Sake leaves left over from brewing the tonoto are put on inau and offered to the kamui. The ikupasui is another ceremonial tool. As the sacred alcohol is offered to the kamui and the ancestors, it is said to have the power to fill in for any lacking words of prayer from the human side. While chanting gratitude and wishes toward the kamui, the ikupasui is used to offer tonoto to the fire deity, Apehuchi Kamui. Tonoto is offered to the inau as well. Only now do the participants drink the tonoto. Finally, Hompe Ohau and other offerings are given, and the kamui nomi is concluded. The festival then moves to the shore where the whale's legend began. Once a kamui nomi is held to restart the festival, Icharupa, a ritual to memorialize the ancestors, is held. The women make the offerings to their ancestors.
We hope you enjoy this.
They express their gratitude to their ancestors through the memorial service. Next is the dedication of the traditional dance, kurimse. Shuya and Koya have been excited to perform, and now it's their time to shine. Father and sons express the hunter's feelings and dance with all their hearts. The performance comes to a close. Next, the ceremony of purifying the coast begins. The festival concludes with Hompe Rimse, the whale dance. The high school student, Kimura Kanao, dances the part of the crow with heart and soul. The people of Shiranuka have worked hard to preserve this dance, which was once on the verge of being forgotten. They come together as one to deliver their gratitude for the blessings of nature to the Kamui.
It went well. Today's Kamui no Mi was worthy of reaching the Kamui and the Charupa to our ancestors. I hope this continues to take root so it can be carried on naturally in the future.
We were able to perform the dances that were passed on to me by my grandmother here at the festival today. I pray our children will carry on this legacy, and I hope this festival will continue.
Exploring the lands of the Ainu. A wish for the proud Ainu culture to be passed down forever. Each and every person's efforts are creating the future of Shiranuka. This program was made possible by the Upopoi National Ainu Museum and Park.